Fiercely Virtuous, and yes, this is my official first video. Yay! I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited and so grateful. Let me give a shout out to my pastor because service was just off the wall today. He shared this awesome message about the power of the tongue, and man, he was straight up like talking to me. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the virtuous woman in the Bible. We can find her in Proverbs 31 verse 10. I'm going to be sharing some qualities. Okay, some qualities. I'm probably going to be sharing 4 things about her today and sharing some more in a follow-up video. So if you guys have questions or any doubts, please email me at fiercelyvirtuous@gmail.com and I will address them, whether it's by video or by email. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. So one of the first things that I wanted to do was actually look up the word virtuous, because I think it's sometimes so important to kind of look at words and kind of break them down. At least for me, like that's my learning process. I like to break them down and understand it to the depth. So yeah, so I looked up the definition of virtuous, and by the way, I have my handy dandy notebook. Yeah, that's how you know you have kids, when you start quoting Blue's Clues. Alright, I'm so sorry. I'll try for that not to happen again, but I can't help it. I watch this stuff with my kids, and sometimes it just sticks, okay? When you know songs from Yo Gabba Gabba, and you're dancing around with your kids and partying with them, it's not so cool when you're quoting them around other adults, but hopefully you guys will forgive me for that. I glitch sometimes. Anyway, so the word virtuous means having or showing high moral standards. So yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. Another word for virtuous is righteous. It's pretty awesome how God calls her righteous. This woman must be a very impressive woman to God. And I would just like to say that I'm very thankful that He left us her example in the Bible, because I think as time has progressed, we have really lost ourselves. I think as women, and society has portrayed women to be more of a sex object and more of a money-making object, and you know, it's been a lot harder to be a woman with high morals in today's society than it was back then. You know, nowadays, I mean, they tell you if you got it, flaunt it type thing, and no one worries about being a decent, dignified, respectful woman. Everyone is just kind of exploring their sexuality. I guess that's what they say. I don't know. But I'm so thankful that God has left us that example. You know, our goal is to be more and more like Jesus, and that's great and that's awesome. But y'all know that Jesus did not experience certain things like a period and mood swings. So I am so thankful for all the other women that were included in the Bible. Poor Jesus. That is a good thing, Lord, because Lord have mercy. That's why He gave us a model. Anyways, so let's go ahead and talk about the qualities of a virtuous woman. And the first one I'm going to share is in verse 10. It says, who can find a virtuous wife? It's actually asking a big question. Who can find her? This lets me know that one of her qualities is that she is unique. You can't find her anywhere. She's not your regular Joe Schmo. She is not your average Mary Jane. Oh, I don't know if that was a good example. But she's basically unique. And she must be comfortable with her uniqueness. You know, she must be very rare to find. She must not be a product of society. She must be a woman who stands out with her, due to her high morals and high standards. She stands out alone. You know, nowadays everyone wants to be another Kim Kardashian. Everybody wants to be a model, and everybody wants to be half naked somewhere. You know, it's like, my goodness. Does anyone ever aspire to be a businesswoman, to be a lawyer, to be a pastor, or you know, or to be a worship singer? Every day nowadays, our goal is to make that money, make that bread, make this stuff, and then you hear all this nonsense about women being used all over the place as sex objects, you know, and our standards have lowered themselves, and we're growing up this way. Then we're having daughters, and we're not teaching our daughters anything, and then, you know, and then we wonder why men are the way that they are, but they're watching TV, and all that they watch is over-sexualization of women. So this is why it's so hard to even find a good man in today's society. Well, let me not get into that, because I can just start jibber-jabbering about that. So, this woman is unique, okay, and she's not afraid to be unique. She's not your cookie-cutter type. Basically, you don't buy a cookie cutter from off a shelf and make another one of her. No, she is one. She's one and only, and she's not ashamed about it. Okay? She's hard to find, which probably means that she doesn't give her time or day to just anybody, or not just anything. You know, we have to be women that are unique in the sense that don't be afraid to not do what everybody else is doing. Don't be ashamed that you don't like the same things as everybody else. I personally sometimes, and you know, when you're at work or in gatherings of other people, and I say, yeah, well, I don't drink, and I don't smoke, and I don't go clubbing, and I don't listen to certain type of music, and they kind of look at me and are like, well, what planet are you from? And then I kind of look back, and then I'm like, honey, obviously not the same world you're from, because, hello, you do everything everybody else does, okay? So, being unique is so important, and don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed. Embrace your uniqueness, okay? We were not meant to look like everybody else or act like everybody else, okay? Second quality is also in verse 10. It's in the second line of verse 10, which says, for her worth is far above rubies. So that lets me know that she's valuable, okay? And the definition of valuable is having desirable or esteemed characteristics or qualities. That means that she is esteemed just because of who she is, you know, and she is of high value. She can't be bought. She cannot be bought. You can't just order her online, okay? You can't go to Winn-Dixie or Publix and get her off a shelf, because she is far, 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 far more worth a ruby. You know, and a lot of people would kill for rubies and diamonds and that sort of stuff. So I can imagine that. For some people that try to buy a virtuous woman, they're going to find out that it can't be done. You know, you can't just buy and then put on being a virtuous woman. No, being a virtuous woman is a process. Being a virtuous woman means praying and having that time where God is molding you and transforming you. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know that those times when you're alone with the Lord and He is working on you, it is like, yeah. But it's the best time in the whole wide world. I wouldn't change it for anything. So yeah, she is valuable. All right. Number 3, I found in the 11th verse, and it says, the heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. Okay, so she's a trustworthy woman. Okay, your husband needs to be able to find trust in you. Okay, to be able to empty his heart out to you. You know, I know all my husband's weaknesses, and the only reason that I know all of his weaknesses are basically because I talk to him. You know, some men are very closed, like they don't want to talk about their feelings. Some men have a hard time talking about their feelings, and some men you kind of have to little by little like pull it out. Luckily, my husband is really awesome at expressing himself and sharing his feelings. The fact that I know these things, and I know his intimate secrets, and that he trusts in me, it means a lot to me, because man, I don't just trust anybody. Like, I don't just trust anybody, and we all know why we don't just trust anybody. Okay, so we have to be able to be of character that is trustworthy, just like this virtuous woman. You know, whether it's with your spouse, with your kids, with your co-workers, with your friends, whoever that entrusts anything into your hands, make sure that it doesn't get around. You know, the worst thing is when you share something so intimate, so private with someone in a moment of need, and then they go back and tell another person in church, and then that person in church tells another person, and you're just like, the whole congregation knows my business. You know, don't be the type of person where if someone comes to talk to you in need, you do one of these. Ready? Ooh, child, you don't know what I know about her life, but she don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning to talk about some gibber jabber. She asked me to pray for her, and I went ahead, and I don't pray for her, but she is one crazy little girl. Oh, no, she crazy. She wild. She needs some Jesus in her life. No. Keep it to yourself. Pray. And the only person you should be talking to is to the Lord, and that's it. Be someone who is trustworthy. Okay, with whatever it pertains to. Let someone find trust in you. Okay? And the fourth quality that I'm going to be talking about, you can actually find it in verses 13 through 15. Right? Yeah, 13 through 15. And it says, she seeks wool and flax and is willingly working with her hands. She is like a merchant ship. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and produces food with her for her household and a portion for her maidservants. Okay? Well, basically in these 3 verses, it's talking about a lot of this woman doing stuff, being a busy woman. So what I got from this is that she's not lazy. We cannot be lazy women. And I think it's so awesome that we have this example, because a lot of times we can get lazy. And I'm not just going to talk about one part of being lazy, just one general part, but I want to talk about, I guess, 4 different areas of laziness. And the first one would basically be God. You can't get lazy with the Lord. You can't get lazy with your prayer time. You can't get lazy with your Bible study time. You can't. You have to find time for it. And I know as moms, as maybe students, as wives, it's kind of hard to find that downtime, you know. But if you can find it, please make time for it, because it's so important not to be lazy. And if you do get lazy, or if you slack off in that area, you're gonna see it's gonna reflect. Man, you're gonna be a cranky pants and moody and all types of you know. I can tell. Okay. A second, don't be lazy with your kids. You know, don't be lazy with your kids. It's so important to try to sit down, no matter how old they are. I have a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and they're all different. You know, trying to get to know them. I know them, but you know, trying to get to know them in an intimate level. You know, their smiles, their sadness. Kind of read what's going on with them. You know, pray for them all the time. Pray over their lives all the time. Declare over their lives all the time. Another one would be not to get lazy with our husbands. Okay, let's make sure that we are meeting our husband's needs. You know, and I'm not just talking about the sex part. I'm also talking about, you know, the emotional part. Not being lazy, complimenting them, thanking them for their hard work. One big thing that I really would like to share is that my pastora, she took the time to kind of emphasize this on me again. Love languages. Learn your partner's love language so that you don't become lazy with meeting their love language. You know, it's so important to learn their love language and meet your partner right there. You know, meet them at the entrance of their heart. You know, it's a goal. It should be one of our goals. Okay. And last but not least, let's not be lazy with ourselves. And this is a biggie. There's so much, I guess, controversy and back and forth with this, because some women like to wear makeup, some don't like to wear makeup. As you can see, I love to wear makeup. And some women don't. And that's great, you know, if you don't like to wear makeup. And I don't think there's anything wrong with sometimes taking some extra time to just kind of butter yourself up just a little bit. You know, I think I don't think makeup should determine how beautiful you are. But I've really learned that makeup, for me, it's fun. I also use it because I have lots of blemishes. I get acne, breakouts all the time. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to walk outside with huge gigantor, you know, pimples everywhere on my face, and you guys are like, what? So, but you know, just take some time and do your hair, brush your hair, smell good, paint your nails, and you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money on these things. There are so many different ways that you can just do these from the comfort of your home with what you have already. Take some time, you know, to just invest in yourself, and also invest some you time, you know, to talk to yourself, to make sure that your heart is in the right place, to make sure your attitude is in the right place, to make sure that everything about you is where you want to be. You know, your dreams, your goals. If you're constantly allowing God to work within you, and allowing yourself to, I guess, have goals. I think it's so much better because you can get so busy with the routine of life, cooking, cleaning, and blah 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 all over again and over again, and you don't stop to maybe like read a book, you know, or maybe to write a song if you like, or you're writing music, or to paint if you like to paint. You know, we forget about ourselves because we're always serving our kids and serving our husband and serving in church, that we kind of forget, like, oh my gosh, I forgot all the things that used to make me come alive. You know, take that time to nurture yourself and to love yourself also, you know, and to spend that one-on-one time with the Lord, because it's so important. So that's about it for today. I can't wait to finish this whole little qualities of virtuous women teaching with you guys. Don't forget to you gotta like, ding. And also questions or any concerns at fiercelyvirtuous at gmail.com. Yeah, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook, so if you guys have any worries or any concerns, please give me a shout out, let me know. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I wish it could be longer, but I know YouTube has a minimum, so I gotta respect the YouTube laws. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. Take care. God bless, and bye.